Hey guys, I'm from Team Soulforge here, and this video is my hopes for Premium Collection 2020. Now, as of now, all we've had is just a little bit of information on it, and I want to air my thoughts on the set in question. This is not a prediction. This is nothing like that. This is what I would like to see, not what I expect to get. So to begin with, a brief retrospective on Premium Collection 2019. When we saw the units, when they were being released, every single unit was a really, really good card. And on paper, they were balanced. But on release, it actually didn't end up that way. I actually thought Premium Collection 2020 was going to kind of level the field, level out kind of like the clans, and you wouldn't really see much of a difference in kind of like how they all ran. But obviously every clan's different and things happen. And so on release, which was the day before, the day before Team League, we get a complete entire shit show. Ichikishima skyrocketed. To be honest, I personally think that having the new Ichikishima was absolutely unneeded. The old one was good enough. And we actually get the first couple of cards that were completely banned in tournament play in Vanguard. We have had restrictions before. We have had choice restrictions. We had never had a ban, complete and utter ban on any card before Ichikishima actually, the Premium Collection Ichikishima came out. And that is something that I really don't want to see. Hopefully we won't see next time. A few things I will say, that actually combining the old and new strategies into the strides was absolutely genius. But there were, I personally think there were a few that were superior to others, and I am not being biased at all. The three that I think had the highest ceiling was obviously Ichikishima, because it was so powerful it got banned. Katrina, Spearcross, and Twin Sword, and Busted. I will say right now that those five had the highest ceilings because of their interactions with their clans, because of the stuff that had come out before. Katrina, Ichikishima was obviously absolutely fantastic with new Tom, and it literally created a state where your opponent couldn't guard at all. Then we have Katrina bringing in the token mechanic and helping with the new stuff while also bringing out the old. I know that every single Katrina player will more than likely play Gladiolus, and it's an obvious choice. Then we get Busted, which is every time a unit stands, unflip a card in the G zone, and it gets one drive check for every. I believe it's a drive check for every face-up card, one extra drive check for every face-up card in your G zone, and then you can restand -5 drives. Let's just say having a lot of drive checks is just nuts. I mean, there are situations when you can have where you could have almost your entire G zone flip face up, and you're drive checking like a motherfucker, restanding continually, and it doesn't stop when you're attacking and you get a drive check. You restand, you flip another. That is just crazy. Twin Sword. I have to say, Twin Sword is actually one of the reason Twin Sword is actually one of my 5 is the fact that you can bring out a complete board with using the right cards, and you can totally destroy your opponent. Connor will attest to this. Bringing out all he needs to do in a blaster build, all you do is bring out Blaster Blade and Blaster Javelin LaRousse, or whatever its full name is, and just set to go with a couple of, you can bring out a couple of Flogels, and then you've got at least 10 of like 5,000 on top of whatever they are on 4 rear guards, and it's just crazy. And I mean, I'm a Tachikaze player, and yeah, we got an improvement on one of our strides, but it's these cards have all been a boost. They've replaced at least one. They've replaced another stride. Now, that is a fantastic thing, and we have an extra crit that we can put into our decks. Obviously, everyone runs these new crits at 4, unless you don't play criticals, which is basically the only decks that will do that are more than likely an Excel clan that can use fronts instead, and they get masses of power. And obviously, like with my versus Spearcross, you need to just call 2 units, regardless of your opponent's grade. As long as you get Unite, you just need to use the Sabreeze clause, and you can get your Spearcross. It's a powerful card, and now going on to 2020, I'm hopeful for a couple of things. One, I hope they really don't go as nuts as they did before. I mean, every unit in Premium Collection 2019, and which is actually something that I actually got surprised about, because I'm new to the game. I joined just before the BCS last year. Well, BCS 2018. And every unit, every stride was another unit that was already released. Katrina was originally a grade 2. Morfessa was originally a grade 2. Ichikishima, a previous stride. Neberos was actually an upgrade of Dogma. Some obscure units. I mean, even Twin Sword was Twin Blades for a Paladin, a grade 2. All of them were either a grade 2 or a grade 4 that actually got a reboot, got an upgrade. And it's amazing to see that all these cards have had a revamp. They've been brought out again, and I'm hopeful that I'm guessing they're going to do the same thing again. And one thing that actually caught mine and Connor's eye was on the image that we were shown for 2020. It does look like one of the units is a Cray Elemental. So I'm actually seeing these. I'm actually thinking that they're going to bring some Cray Elementals in, and possibly G Guardians to kind of give us the other side of the G Zone. We got a stride last year. We can get a G Guardian this year. I'm actually hoping for, which is actually what I'm thinking we're going to get, but obviously it's just my thoughts. And obviously alongside that, if we're getting G Guardians, more than likely we're going to get a heal trigger with a universal skill like we got for the crit. One thing I'm hoping we don't get is stand triggers. 10k stands would be a bad idea because it would be unfair on the non-Excel clans, because then we'll have five different 10k triggers. We'll have fronts, we'll have crits, fronts, draws, stands, and heals. And if they do bring in heals, if they do bring in stands, I would prefer it if they didn't do Excel clans, because then that would actually kind of swing in the favor of stand triggers for the Excel clans, and the Excel clans would get even more powerful in premium because they now have a 10k stand trigger. I do get the fact that having stand triggers is a less of a buff with the units, but it's something that should not be returned to. Front triggers are there for Excel clans to get the additional power to all of their units, like stand triggers did in the past, where every single clan could restand. As far as I know, all the Excel clans have a way to stand their units, either by actual with skills or with some other way, or like in the form of Tachikaze, we have quite a lot of units that can bring themselves back or bring out other units. What's worrying is what I'm worried about is that they're going to overcompensate and give us some skills that are like Ellie. If they're going for G Guardians, I'm hoping that no skill is like Ellie. And the reason Ellie was good was because of Aqua. Running 6 PGs in your deck along with Ellie was just stupid. I would say if they bring back Ellie, give the choice of either Ellie or Aqua. I mean, if they bring back Ellie, I would say give the choice of Ellie or Aqua would be the better choice. Would be the better thing if they want to bring back Ellie. But that's kind of like for a restriction list video, whatever. May do that sometime in the future, but I'm not going to do that alone. I'll see if I can actually get like maybe one or two of the guys to actually kind of do that with me. If it is done at all. Okay, so I mean, going back to the main subject of 2020, I'd probably, if they were going to go on the G Guardian route, I'd say probably using either Sentinels or units that had a guard restrict. Probably they would be the ones that they'd turn into G Guardians. And if they went the Stride route again, I'd say I'd hope for kind of like some grade 3s to be upgraded. My personal choice would probably be, even if they don't do strides and go for a grade 3 route instead, I'd love to see a revamp of some clans because of the Chronojet, the trial deck releases. I'm actually I've had a thought of more of actually them releasing some early G unit, early strides, and like early stuff like the Gaia and the Ancient Dragons and stuff like that with markers. That is another route they could take for Premium Collection 2020 because of the release of the Chronojet Archer and the Altmal decks. I mean that is actually something that would actually put a spin on Premium Collection, giving all the units basically pretty much effectively remaking the old units, basically reprinting them but adding markers, as it were. For me, for example, for probably Tachikaze, I'd say doing Gaia Emperor. That alone with just basically just revamped, brought out new numbers. I mean, it'd probably just have like a different, like just bringing the old units into the modern era would be a kind of like a way to go. And I'm thinking, just putting this right out there. I may be well off. I may be right there, but maybe actually adding maybe something like, because I've noticed something that's gone on. The new units that have come out recently, all of the ones that have come out recently they've been going from the original up to the Limit Break era with the V series, because taking a look at the cards that have been released, that the remakes that have come out, such as Dark Rex and others beforehand, they have been the Limit Break cards. So it does seem like they're going to the Limit Break era and bringing them in. And the recent release of the Legion units have actually come out as well. It does seem like they're going to keep going with that, and I'm sort of seeing a pattern of like possibly they'll be going along the same lines for Premium Collection. So if they don't go for the Stride route, they'll more than likely bring in either Legion, probably old school Legions and the Legion mates, which would mean grade 3s and 2s, that we're going to get in Premium Collection 2020, probably V-Series versions, probably kind of like altered versions where the grade 3s have a marker and their skills have changed for the modern era to be put into your old school decks. I mean, going on with this, I mean, I've been rambling on for almost 20 minutes, but to put it into basics, I don't want to see the clusterfuck that we had last year. That was complete and total shambles. Everything looked good on paper, but the units in practicality, there were massive gaps between like the levels of like power that they had. Also, if we're going on the Stride route, do the same as they did before, take some older units and revamp them for the new stuff. If not, I would like to see like old Legions and Legion mates only being able to use in Premium like the Premium Collection, only being able to use in the V series, like V series skills, but only being able to use in Premium, obviously. And if not, then Guardians and Heals, a heal with a universal skill that we can kind of like, I mean, hopefully it'd be something to kind of like replace the Soul Charge Countercharge of the Soul Charge Countercharge units that we had, because that was actually quite a difficult choice for quite a few people. Do we stick with the counter charge, or do we go with the 10K? Also, one other thing, please, God, please, for Gear Chronicle, do not print a ZTB. Do not do it. I am hoping they don't. If they do, then we're back to cancer. Yay. All in all, well, with all that being said, just like the video if you have, and do all that bollocks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.